Woof! Excuse me, I'm just getting prepared here. Let me see, I'm just trying to remember what the heck I wrote. Hey! Welcome to the Ultimate Garage Sale Book. Yes, I wrote and self-published a book on how to have the ultimate garage sale back in, I wonder if there's a copyright in here or not. Published in 1992. And believe me, 30 years later, there's still a lot of stuff that's really good about this. I should look at trying to load this onto Amazon. But today, I'm here to talk about, with you guys, how to make big bucks holding your garage sales. We're also going to talk a little bit about just like shopping garage sales in general. Rick is going to join us shortly, and we're going to talk about some of our experiences shopping garage sales, like just shopping, because finally for us, it's about to come up. So a big thanks to everybody who's joined us here for our Tuesday night hall pass here on Two Dogs Digs. As I say, Rick will be joining us shortly. He's just, I think, letting Doug out. And a big thank you to everybody here who is from our Kennel Club, including, yay, thank you so much. We got Daryl Thurnall. He just became one of the members of the Kennel Club. Thank you so much. And actually, for everybody who is in the Kennel Club, we've got a preparation checklist for the garage sale book that's going to have all these things that you should think about and know. That's all going to be there. You'll be able to find it if you're a Kennel Club member. It will be in the marketing side on YouTube. So you'll actually get a little link notice about that just after the show ends. So we're downloading it there for a link for you guys to get it. But a big hi to everybody, especially Kennel Club members. But thanks. Hey, Carl, thanks for joining us. Carl will be joining us next week, along with Elisa, as we talk about what's sold in April. Carl said he might be doing March and April. Michael, Janet, Louette, hello. Tina, Susan, hey, Kendra. Elisa Wallace, hello, Jennifer. Candace, Diana, and Susan, hey there. Heather, Kathy, did I say Kathy? I didn't know if I said Kathy. And Sherry, hello. Mr. Brian. Let's see, we got Kevin, we got Charmaine. Roadrunner Crazy, let me remember if I remember. Lisa. And Lisa. And Elisa, there she is. Hydran, thanks for popping in to see us here. Lane, hey. It's vintage now. It is. This is vintage now. Tamara, I'm going to show you something today, Tamara, that I know you're going to want to talk about too, or want to learn about, because I'm going to talk a little bit about crossless magic, because something I learned how to do today. Hey, Fluid Digital Pro, thanks for popping in. Julie, happy belated birthday to Julie. Mine's coming up this week, Friday, actually. And Holly, let's go garaging. And Bob. And there he is. There he is downstairs. Hello, Mr. Rick.
Hello.
How are you?
I can't hear a word you're saying.
Can't you?
I don't know what's wrong down here. I think I'm muted.
You probably muted me.
I'll try to sort it out.
Okay. You might.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, you muted me. Oh, I was muted. Probably from the Whatnot show that we did.
Yes.
Yes, it's the triple threat of Lisa's. Hey, Susie. You didn't lose that. You didn't miss anything. And I did say hi. Hey, Bob. So yeah, today we're going to talk a little bit about the garage sales and our experiences on garage sales, including a couple of different fun, interesting little garage sale trips that we've had as well. And again, I wrote this. Now I know. Did you hear that, Rick? 1992 is the copyright in this damn thing. So we got to figure out how to upload this to Amazon.
I typeset that.
Yeah.
When I was at Goodman and Goodman, before it became Goodman, Freeman, Phillips, and Weinberg.
Yeah.
That was my first job with a legal firm, by the way.
Sherry actually says she's doing community yard sales June the 8th for her friend's development and running a state sale for a friend. Yeah. And yeah, Rick did get his hair cut.
Yeah. I'm
very
not
little.
too... Well, no. Yeah.
Very little. Very little.
They charged me the long hair price. And Craig saw the bill on our.
I saw the bill and I was like,
and said,
$66?
What? said, no,
For
it's
one
my
hair?
fault.
Like, did they charge you by the
I
hair?
did not check the price before I sat in the chair.
It keeps going to different places. And
And they all do such a
I don't
bad
like them.
job.
I don't like them. The one place that he went to that
He
he
did
liked.
better than the Walmart lady.
Oh no, the Walmart lady was horrible. But the guy that you liked disappeared. Like you came back and we went, oh my God, he did such a great job. And then you went back and then, oh no, he's fired. Sounds like a crap. Lisa only pays 50. It was I guess it was bougie. It was kind of bougie.
Well,
I tried doing that with a
Flowbee, and it hurt like heck.
Yeah, I tried doing that Flowbee with back in COVID. Did not go.
We still have that Flowbee.
Look at that. Great clips, $18. Sherry says great clips. Senior price, $15. You look like a senior. You could probably kill yourself that way. After says cuts himself. Did they shampoo it?
They did the full-on scalp massage. I didn't get a glass
all
of
the special stuff. Before we get into talking about the garage sales themselves, we're just going to chat about a couple of little things. One of them is just as a little thing that's just this weekend, we had really weird sales. And by really weird sales, I mean things that it was one of those weekends where we sent out an offer. And I sent out like 30 offers on Thursday night or Friday night. And I took big chunks of money off these offers. And it ended up that on Saturday, we sold 2 or 3 of them at full price to somebody else, which was just strange. I was happy. You might have seen if you're in the craft group. One of them was the Fisher Price sealed play desk. We priced it high at $195 and thought, okay, this is going to go high, $195. Didn't have any interest really in it. Had a lot of watchers. Sent out a couple of offers for $20 off. No, sent out an offer for $150, like instead of like $195, so $50 off, and then it sold for $195. Rick was moving stuff around because he had to count boxes because we're doing like getting ready for the summer. And in the middle of moving stuff around when he's counting boxes, something you guys know we've had for God knows how long, we sold incense again.
The gift that keeps on giving.
We have not sold this incense. I don't even know how long it's been since we sold some. 4 or 5 months?
Almost a year.
Huh?
Almost a year
Almost
since we
a year?
last sold some.
Now, again, we sold 16 of these for $20 a piece, and we bought all of them for like $20. So we still have 2 left. It's just
actually we should up the quantity. I think there are like 25 left.
Yeah, it's so stinky though. It is really stinky. Like
actually,
if you move that box and it pops up, then it's like all of a sudden the whole storage area. Yep, that's right. It's like, oh God, that incense. Yeah, but again, just the weirdest things coming in that. Diana said she loved that play desk. It was such a good play. It was. And we actually, you know what I found in my profit piles downstairs? Another play desk. It has been opened, but it's in pretty good shape. So at least I'm going to try and get like 95 or something like that for that. It was
the perfect box to ship it too.
Yeah, we found what kind of box has to ship it to. I just said I resisted doing senior day at Savers because I have a full carload of free inventory worth lots from a fellow vendor who's closing her booth. Oh, that's nice. That is really nice. Includes great items I sell online. Well, if you don't have to, it's like, wow, that's great that you got stuff for free. I actually went today to Value Village, and strangely enough, that's my 3rd Tuesday in a row now. I basically bought nothing except for the fact that if you do recall, we had a challenge. Supper time was our challenge, and our supper time challenge for May was mugs. So what happened when I was out there shopping today? This did. Baggy Wall Grand Floridian travel mug. $4.99 for 3 of them. That's my new little camera I'm trying to try and do more pictures or more videos for you guys. So I found that and I thought, okay, this is them. It's really great to find them. They're all actually still sealed in the plastic, so none of them have ever, you can see right inside there, they still have their plastic seals. So none of them have been out. Now, here's an interesting thing, because I always talk about this, and someone asked again just recently in the craft group, I think yesterday, about Worthpoint, and I could not find that mug easily on eBay sold. None had sold in the past 90 days. In fact, I had to go to Worthpoint for these and take a look. So I ended up having to go, and this one we talked about a little bit last week in our tips, is for us to actually put in the right words. So again, this is one of the things. Don't put in too many words at first. So what I did was I first put in Grand Floridian mug, and you can see I have 311 items. And this is what I'm always telling Rick, and I told you guys last week, start with something smaller, then add to it. So with 311 mugs, every kind of mug is in there. Well, that's not what I want. So I thought I will try travel mug. And I got down to 34 travel mugs. So interestingly enough, I popped these in and to look at the most recent. This is the most recent Floridian travel mug. And that's not the mug. And that's not the mug. And that's not the mug. Finally, that's the, and look at the date, August 19, 2022. That's the last time somebody sold one of those mugs in 2022 for $17 for a used mug. And if I go further down here, they're $54 for two, $30 for one in 2021. So this is everything in Worthpoint that is a travel mug like that. So it's giving me a real idea that I can probably ask for these since they're brand new. I'm going to probably ask about $39.95 a piece and see what happens with them. And again, I picked them up brand new and sealed for, well, it ended up being less with this. It ended up being less than $4, so $3. So $1 a piece US for us to get those. So keep those on, keep it, and they're light too. So that's the nice thing that's about those kind of things is those kind of mugs are really, really light. And the other interesting thing is Rick sold some mugs actually yesterday or the day before. Surprised the heck out of us. I have to find them because I did not prep for this one, Rick.
Okay. Now these
you can talk about before I show them. Talk about how you pack them. Don't give too much details because I gotta find it.
So basically, these mugs I was able to fit into. We sold 4 individually to the same buyer. So it was like a multi-listing on Etsy, and the buyer bought 4 of them. And I was able to wrap them in tissue, then in bubble, and they fit perfectly into a 6x5x5 box. And then I was able to group all 4 of those boxes into a priority mailbox provided by USPS.
And I will show you the mugs. This was actually done using Crosslist Magic. We moved them from Crosslist Magic. This was on eBay. Take a look at this. Here are the mugs. And they are naked ladies. Nothing as rude as the other time that I did them, but these are the naked lady mugs. And Rick, I thought he priced these at $70 for the set of 6, but you know what? He priced them at $70 a piece, Canadian, $200, and somebody bought 4 of those mugs. So again, like $50 a mug. $50 a mug. I have asked him
we got those at an estate sale for $20, and it was 50% off day. So I got all 6 of those mugs for $10 US.
Yeah.
And they're not actually Kindle mugs. They are in the style of Kindle. If they were Kindle, I would have listed them for probably $75 or $80 each.
I thought it was 70 for the lot, and I was like, thank God we're getting rid of them. And I said, I guess we're going to be putting them in our next Max Sold because I just saw a set of not as nice ones sell for Max Sold for $50. But
yeah, and then we had the discussion, and then 2 days later,
then there was another one of those talking about something, and then all of a sudden they sell, and I was like, $200. Hey, Adrian, didn't notice you doing. Hey, thanks for popping in. All right, see, I just saw something in there. I just want to make sure where'd it go. So Andrea is saying you should do a few packing videos for various kinds of items. we actually can try and do some of those now that I've got this nice little cute little camera that I'm trying out right now.
I don't like being
But he
on
doesn't like
camera,
being on camera
so
when he's
no.
packing stuff. Elisa wants to know, who's the Toy Story aliens behind the hair? It's the Toy Story alien. You are my.
That was a particular line of toys
but
that Disney came out of.
They're called
or came out with
Remix, and this is Merida from Brave, which kind of also looked like a drag queen alien, which is why I ended up buying it for Rick. This is Merida. So I'm trying to switch up the things behind me all the time now since we have so much stuff here.
He's
so
cute.
I'm glad you noticed. I'm glad that you noticed. The claw, yes. You have been chosen. Yes, that's right. That's where I got it. Disney Store just before it actually ended up closing. Yes, he paid for the haircut with those. There we go. Tina's got it right. Yes, you did end up paying for the haircut.
Yes. We still have 2 mugs left to sell, so hopefully they will go. If not, we will relist them probably on eBay. I mean, we did pull them from eBay to put them on Etsy with the higher price, and then we delisted them from eBay.
Yeah. And again, we did that. And this is what I'm going to talk to you one more thing before we get into all the garage sale fun with Crosslist Magic. And Tamara had a question about us for doing this. And it is something that was really interesting was when we're doing Crosslist Magic, you know about it. We've talked about it a few times before. It's where you can it's a Chrome extension that sits in the background of your desktop. Don't worry. We will get to that, Sev. And it can let you cross list from any platform you're on. Now, one of the challenges that we seem to have was getting something from Facebook to cross list out there. And I know Tamara actually lists on a lot of different Facebook groups. So I'm going to show you, I checked with the guy who created this and figured out exactly how to do it. So I'm just going to show you right now. I'm going to go to one of my listings. So this is me selling right now. I've got these items that I have that are my listings that are out there. So what I'm going to end up doing is I'm taking a listing that I've got here. And what you normally do when you're using Crosslist Magic, and this is what I'll show you, is we normally tell you to click on the little tabs right there, the little paper, the icon. But what we're going to do in this case is we're going to do it a little different. You need to open up the item. And once you've opened up the item, you're going to go up top, and you're going to see at the top of the screen, I've got the little Crosslist Magic right up at the top corner there. You can see the Chrome extension. When I click on that, I'm going to tell this I want it to list to eBay, and I hit cross list. It's going to pull that information from my Facebook ad, and it's going to build my eBay. Again, this is the reason that we love Crosslist Magic. Look at that. It's built the eBay thing. Now you have to do all the finalizing stuff on there. So you may have to choose some different categories or things like that. I'm just going to save this for later. But I'm also going to tell you something that I just figured out as well. And I told you about this on Etsy, but this I think is an amazing extra thing about what you could do with Crosslist Magic. And that is if you find an item on Facebook Marketplace that you have that you want to sell on some other platform, you can cheat and use their listing to build your own. So let me just show you. I'm going to take this here. Here's a Pyrex dish. Hey, I have that Pyrex dish. You know what? I want to sell one just like it on Etsy. They've got the butter print. They've got all the things here. I'm going to go up to that corner again, that little icon, click on this, and I'm actually going to click off Etsy, not eBay. And I'm going to hit cross list, and it is going to build from somebody else's listing. It's going to take their pictures, which you should replace. There we go. We have to say it was made by another company. It is a finished product, and this happened to be made in the 60s. So those are the things you need to do to get it onto Etsy. But take a look. It pulled all the pictures. It pulled the Friggy. It pulled the description. So if you find someone else's listing that's been done by Facebook that you think this is great. So now you can do this. Anybody else's listing anywhere. You can do a sell similar from Facebook, a sell similar from Etsy, a sell similar from any platform, not just eBay to eBay, but you can do it anywhere. It just makes it so easy. So again, we'll talk about that. We've talked about it before. And again, the promotion code that we have is, if you are going to be using this, sign up with CROSSLIST Magic, use the promo code 2dogsdigs, and you get 7 days for free to try it. And then 3 months at $5 a piece instead of $9.99 a month. It's $5 a month for 3 months. So it's just such an easy way to cross list stuff. That's really, leave them in Etsy. They will sell eventually.
Mugs.
The mugs.
Yes.
And now, yes, thanks, Seb, we are getting to how to make big bucks holding garage sales. So we have done garage sales for, much to Rick's chagrin, probably. It's $9.99 US. Yes, Lisa, it is $9.99 US, I believe.
Yes,
so you get it for $5 US for 3 months. So again, it's a great thing. We're actually talking to him about a few other things as well, figuring out if he can do it cross-listing to Whatnot Marketplace or pulling from Whatnot Marketplace. We're talking to him about a few other extra things and see if we can get that to work a different way on Facebook. But this cheat, actually, I think is better, because now I can pick somebody else's stuff and go, I have that. Sell similar, sell similar. It's so easy to build sell similar. But again, when we're talking about garage sales, we've been having them now for what, Rick? Well, 1992, I wrote that.
Yes.
We've been together 38 years, so I think we've been having them for like 37 years. I've dragged him to shopping at them and holding them.
Well, no, we had one our first year together at your parents' place.
That's true. That's very true. And
because we had a bunch of stuff that was duplicated when we moved in together.
Yeah, so we've had them, and we've had them really successfully. And in fact, we on average, I think we pulled close to $1,000 on probably almost every garage sale that we have had. We've had some that have been even more than that, some that have been up to $2,000 in sales on a garage sale.
I think our record was like $2,400.
And we're not talking about, okay, we found a bunch of stuff to sell for like $200 or $300. When we talk about doing this, we're saying you can make this kind of money by just having a plan in place, getting stuff organized, pricing well, and then actually having the sale. Now, here's one of the big things that I love this. Sherry never went to a yard sale until he met her. That's all. I think Rick was the same way.
Yep.
You just made 300 this weekend. Well, we have talked to our neighbors too when we've had them. One of the big things that we always try to recommend to folks is that they actually try and organize a garage sale so it's not just you. Now, there's a number of different ways that you can do this so it's not just you. But what we've ended up doing is we've actually solicited our street. We used to do them actually for our neighborhood. And actually, so we drew up a little flyer that just said, hey, we're going to do a garage sale for about 7 or 8 weeks from now, so that people had enough time to get ready for it. If you'd like to join in, just let us know. And what we used to do is ask people to give us between $2 and $5. And the $2 to $5 would just help us with buying ad space, because in some cases we buy print ad space, or if we were on a local thing like Craigslist or Kijiji or even Marketplace, we'd promote the actual garage sale itself. And one of the things that helped us, I think, the most was when we did them, and we did them with at least 2 or 3 other people. Rick, don't you think?
Yeah, it's always better to have 2 or 3 houses on a street to make it more of a destination. So that would be one of the tips, is see if any of your neighbors are interested in having a garage sale the same time that you are.
Now, one of the things that some people don't necessarily, it may not have the neighbors there, but if you live in an apartment, talk to your neighbors in your apartment. Put up a post in the lobby of your apartment and see if your apartment complex will let you have it in front of or in your parking lot, your visitor parking lot. We've actually been to quite a number of those that have worked out really well, where we've actually, as a shopper, it's driving me there because it's a multi-family or a multi-house sale, multi-street sale. And I love that. There was one I went to, I think last summer, and what was great about it was I saw this sign that said like multi-townhome block sale. And I drove down. It was a long little way. I did this one by myself. And then it happened to be, I think, about 60 houses that were all in this long townhome complex. And I spent like 45 minutes just walking from table to table to table, and I bought a bunch of stuff like that. No, there's no garage sales allowed at your place, Adrian, unfortunately. So in that case, try and check with a friend. So that's the other thing that we do is you'll see people who say it's a multi-family. If it's not a street sale or multi-home, you'll see a multi-family sale. And sometimes if you're advertising it that way, that also may entice people to come. The whole thing about having a successful garage sale really is, at the end of the day, it's getting people to come and shop for you, right? I'm going to show you this other little video that frustrates the heck out of me. This is what frustrates me when I'm shopping garage sales.
Woohoo! Hey, yes, it's garage sale time. Let's go find some stuff. Let's go find some stuff. Who taught you how to write? Can you if that's in front of your face and you can't read it, it shouldn't be on a sign on the side of the road, because no car could possibly read it. I can't get out of my car. I can't drive. Oh. What does here mean? It's not here. Here is the corner of a street. There is nothing anywhere with no arrows telling me where to go. Oh my goodness. Here? Yeah, that's ridiculous. You lied. There's no date. It wasn't today. Why is there a sign up here for today? I don't know when this was. Was it last week? The week before? Liar.
Those are some of the things that drive me absolutely bonkers. Signs that you cannot read. Teeny tiny little signs that are written by children. This will be fun. We'll have the children write the sign, and they can't write. And when they write, they're writing it for something that is this big. It's going to be seen by cars.
My favorite is using a pencil to write the sign, so that if it's right in front of your face, you can barely see it, but 20 feet away, who put up that blank sheet of paper?
When we're driving to garage sales together, I literally turn to him at some point. We stop and we have to go. I go, can you get out of the car and see if that's real? If there's nothing around us? And he's like, no. I'm like, okay. That is one of the things. Yes, that is a definite, you get to the address and there's no sale. I hate when people, so if you're going to hold your own garage sale, please take the sign down after a while. That's probably one of the things. Oh, Heather says we have binoculars to read the sign. But when you're driving, especially if you're driving on your own, that's not really helpful. Old signs or signs that stop abruptly. Yes. We had this one. An arrow. An arrow is so easy. So when you're thinking about it, again, from the perspective of the shopper, I know you guys are shoppers. You can figure out, this is a place I want to go to. This is a place I want to go to. We actually had a sign at the end of our street. We did this block sale for a couple of years. And so many people who were coming up to our street and saying, or our sale, and going, could you do any better? I don't have enough money. I literally put a sign at the end of our driveway that said sale ATM with an arrow pointing to the mall where there was an ATM, because I was getting sick of people who were actually like trying to like tell me they had no money. And I think that's one of the other things. Rick, you and I have had some wonderfully fun things happen to us. Do you remember the one when we were at Oakley with the neighbor coming in with Yvonne?
Yes, I do.
Do you want me to tell it?
Yeah, no, you tell it. You're much better at telling stories.
We had a garage sale, and our next door neighbor, who was a painter, we knew we had some paint frames, and we thought, okay, we're not putting them any cheaper for any of our friends, but sometimes we'll tell our friends they can come and take a look. And this friend came in, and she came to our door. She goes, I'm here to look at the frames. I was like, okay, open the door, and in she walks, and in walks this other lady with her, and we're showing her the spare room where we've got a bunch of the stuff getting ready to get set up, and the woman's picking this stuff up. And I said to Yvonne, the lady that was our neighbor, aren't you going to introduce us? She goes, I don't know who this woman is. And I went, you what? And I said, excuse me, ma'am. And she goes, I can't come tomorrow. I thought I'd just come and shop tonight. I was like, get out of my house.
I think you use stronger language than
I think I might have used a little bit stronger language than that. That is true. A little bit stronger language.
I had one non-caffeinated shouting match with a fellow who wanted to shop while we were setting up. We set up for 9 o'clock.
Yeah.
No early birds. We put a rope or a barrier across the bottom of our driveway, and we very explicitly say, no early birds. One guy hopped over and started to try to take the box out of my hand to help unload things so he could look through it. And not having had my coffee, I basically shouted, get the F off my property. And if you come back, I'm not going to sell anything to you. Go away.
Yes, that's people who come at 9 a.m. or 7 a.m.
Me without coffee is not a delight.
We have people who'll sit out front of our place, and we're evil like this. And I think it's just because I know as a shopper, that's kind of, I mean, I try and go roughly on time. And most of the time I'm not getting there right when the sale starts. That's a good idea. I've done that sort of thing too. But we've had people, as I'm opening the garage door to take the boxes out, walk into the garage. I always said to Rick, it's like, yeah, zombies and brains, but like coming towards you, and you're like, run. So,
yeah, we also had a number of dealers that would come by to our sales and try to be the first person on the lawn or in the to pick.
Early birds pay double. I hate ads that say no early birds. I get there 15 minutes early and the place is packed with shoppers. Yeah, well, that's just it. We're the people who actually put up the caution tape. No one can get by. And especially the nice thing is, when you got a street sale, they can just go shop other people. We have a lady down the street who starts on the Friday. Now, where we are in Canada, we actually have, our garage sales are one day, usually between like 9 and 1. And if you go trying to find garage sales at 2 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon or a Sunday, there ain't any. That's one of the reasons we actually love upstate New York, because they have garage sales that start on Thursday nights. Fridays is a big day, Saturdays and Sundays. And this weekend for my birthday, I'm hoping some of them are going to be open up for Friday and Saturday, even though it's just the beginning of May. Normally it's much more June, July, and August. But that's the kind of thing that we have. That's another, yes, that drives me crazy. And you've heard me talk about it before. Long McMansion driveways with stuff at the very top. I actually have skipped so many of those. I just look at Rick, go, I'm not. Like, it depends on what time of the morning it is or what the ad said. I might think about it.
And that's when he gets stink eye for waking me up at 6:30 in the morning.
No, that's the flea market. That's different.
No,
Winnipeg or Friday afternoon. That's nice. But no, they're not in Toronto. They never end up. Sherry skips them too. So that's one of the things. We also had one last year, and I was trying to build a video and I can't find it. Rick found this thing on the way back from an antiques sale, and it's sort of a combination. They had amazing signage, and it was in the country. So we followed this signage for like 15 minutes. We followed this signage up into hills, into a forest area, where I literally said to Rick, you're going to get us killed. We're going to be murdered, aren't we? There was no other cars around. And we get to this thing, and it was like 3 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon. And we get there, and the sign on the driveway said, open Sunday until noon. And it was like, this is Saturday. Why did you have, and I mean big fluorescent signs.
Why didn't it say Sunday only?
All over the place. We had to turn after turn after turn to get to it. So they were so great with the signage. It drove me crazy. But we didn't get killed. Obviously, we didn't get killed because here we are. Sherry says, going to an estate sale an hour and a half before opening time on Thursday because they have the kitchen set of her dream. Yeah, we're not talking about an estate sale so much because they can be a lot of extra.
Yeah, we've lined up
we don't like
early
that much.
Twice in our entire lives for estate sales, and we didn't get the stuff we wanted. So now it's like,
never doing that again.
We don't need to do that because there are really cutthroat dealers that will cut a bitch.
So Sandra's got a great point. It seems to be different. Every area has different days and times of work. Your town is a tourist town. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is great. That's a nice thing too. Is like, yeah, if Sunday is a great day as well, that's a really good thing to do. Walk all the way back to a very sketchy garage, come inside. Yeah, that's happened a few times too to us. So, but So we talked a little bit about some of our fun kind of things going out to these things now, but the thing you always want to know about is obviously how do you make $1,000? How do you possibly make $1,000? Well, I've got some rules and
Guidelines. I call them guidelines. He calls them
guidelines.
rules.
Well, so one of the things that people often ask about is I always try and say this is based on our history. It may be different for you, but as a lot of you are resellers, there's a lot of things that you have that are either in your profit pile or have been listed for so long that you don't even know if you still want to deal with them. There's a lot of things that you may have quantities of, things like that. We did a single sale by ourselves last year, and our sale last year made about $500.
Yep.
In the one day. There was only one other house doing it on that day.
And it was absolute crap.
Our stuff.
Our stuff was like it was drag stuff we didn't want to put on Max Sold.
Not even Max Sold. We didn't want to. It was donate or throw out stuff in most of the cases. So we still made $500 from it. So here's some of the stuff that I found or we found historically is what we look for, which is that's me, my facing it. So here we go. So what we call it the easy sells, or you bet. So glassware and china seems to still be very good. Compact discs and tapes, baby stuff seems to go good. The only thing we hate is when we get to a town or yard sale that the entire town is filled with baby stuff. It's like, does anybody not have baby stuff? Lisa actually bought stuff from us last year. The stuff she sold for good money though. So that, again, it depends on who your audience is as a seller. So I forgot that Lisa showed that last year. So it wasn't all crap. There was some good stuff.
Well, no, it's stuff that we wouldn't sell. So more power to you. If you have an audience that'll sell something for a higher price than we can sell it for, more power to you.
Baby stuff. Yes. Well, some people think baby stuff. Oh, picking up a picker. Thanks for subbing. Thanks you for joining us here. That's wonderful. Thank you for being joining our subscription. Think about joining our Kennel Club if you want as well. So easy sales, toys, kitsch, interesting things, jewelry, collectibles, sporting goods, clothing, accessories, brass and silver, pictures and posters. This is from our experience. Has done really, really well. What doesn't do well, we find clothing does not do well. Now, a neighbor of ours was doing clothing and they were doing really, really good, but they did clothing that was all still with tags. And it's sort of like a hoarder type house where someone had done lots and lots and lots of shopping at a TJ Maxx. And so they ended up that they had all this stuff they didn't wear anymore. But generally we've tried clothing and people want to pay less for clothing than they do at an actual thrift store, which is driving me crazy. Shoes, unless they're running shoes, and we've seen someone try and sell $400 running shoes. Broken electronics. They're going to sell electronics, make sure they work. Big furniture, especially big, ugly, old furniture. Just put a picture of it up. We always tell people that. Magazines, we've tried that. Items you don't know what it is. Sometimes we put it there and said, we don't know what this is. If you can tell us what it is, it's yours for free, and that's fun. And then medium sort of thing. Records and tapes have actually changed. They've moved a little bit up, probably into the U-bets right now, as long as they're priced properly. Games, as is merchandise, car stuff, mechanical parts, crafts. You can have some luck with them, and some people don't necessarily have luck with them. So this is what we do to set up for it. We set a garage sale corner. Now, depending upon how much size you've got available to you, you can do it in a corner, you can do it in a garage, whatever. We actually use office boxes. And as we're going through stuff, it might have been stuff that we decided to pull off of the various platforms that we've got, something that I didn't check properly, and I got it home and I realized it wasn't great. Extra stuff that came in a baggie that I didn't want. I wanted this one thing from the baggie wall, but I don't really care about the rest of the stuff. And we put this stuff into garage sale boxes, or what we call the garage sale corner. Now, you can use a closet, and you can start this in advance in a closet. And as you go through stuff around the house, you go, okay, I don't want this anymore. And instead of tossing it into the thrift store, toss it into the garage sale box. So it helps you in at least starting to get stock. Because one of the biggest things to do to make money on a garage sale is to have a good amount of stock. If you have 25 things, you're not going to make $500. But if you have a ton of things, like what was it, last year or the year before, Rick? Was it before COVID? It might have been. We aren't listening to any of these CDs. Was it last year, I think?
No, it was pre-COVID.
Was it pre-COVID? And we ended up getting rid of like 200 CDs. Well, 200 CDs, you think, what? We priced those CDs at $1 a piece. And they flew. Guess what? 150 CDs at $1 each is $150. That's the thing that helps keep you moving along. Last year, we had pretty well every single thing we did. We started at $2. Everything. It didn't matter if it was something that we think should have really been 50 cents. It was $2. So the morning was $2. And we started everything at $2. And then we waited for 2 hours, and then we marked everything down to $1. And nothing stayed at $2. And then when it got to be like the last hour we were there, we said, you know what? It's 2 for $1. Because everything that was there, we don't want to bring back into the house. You always have to remember, the higher the goal of the amount of money you want to make, the more work it's involved. It's the same with life. It's the same with reselling. You can't just assume, I'm not going to put much effort into this and I hope to make $400 from this garage sale. The greater the variety of things that you have, the more opportunity you'll have something to sell. That's why I always say, if you go to a garage sale and it's filled with a bunch of baby stuff and you've got nothing other than baby stuff, then you've limited the people who can shop from you. So see if there's other things you can do. We've gone into places where sometimes that's worked great for us. I was at a garage sale last year. Rick remembers this one because he sat in the car. He didn't get out of the car. And I kept looking at him, and we now have a limit. Now he has a rule. He doesn't pay attention to the rule. The rule is supposed to be that if I get out at a garage sale or a street sale, and I have been out of the car at a single sale for like 5 minutes or more, get your ass out of the car, because I'm probably hoarding stuff, holding stuff, trying to, and we've lost things because I had to come back. Do you remember we lost that, what was it? The trumpet?
Mm-hmm.
Like a $400 trumpet that was $25, but I didn't have my phone and I had to wait for him, and I had to go back to the car, and he's like,
yeah, that's on you though. You should have just bought it. Tables turned.
No tables turned. No tables turned. Yeah, it's all about critical mass. That's the whole idea behind it.
Yeah. So as Craig was saying, you need to set aside some space or some holding area for the things that you're going to put in your garage sale. And if it's something that you're doing as part of your inventory clear out or inventory purge, you evaluate, it's going to be a garage sale item, it goes into the box in that area.
Now, sometimes we've actually done that and then said, like, when we get to a certain point, we've actually started putting boxes going, this is a $1 box. This is a $2 box.
Yep.
That's the kind of thing. So that when we're looking at putting in something, we already write to ourselves, this is a $2 box. So we know that. Donna says she has an entire booth of items in her living room now. She's thinking about how to sort all this stuff out. Yeah. Why would I not take my phone? In this particular case, it was on a country road, and I didn't expect anything to be at this, so I got out, and then I spent like 5 minutes, and then he didn't come. Can I start a pile is what you should be asking. You can do that. I do that with some people. I start a pile. We have people who shop from us, and they just start a pile. They just start picking up stuff. I don't like to start a pile when I'm not going to be buying something, though, from it. In that case, I wasn't sure with a trumpet in a case.
That's actually the sale that we got, one of the several surgers that
we did end up buying some other great stuff at that sale, but we did miss a $400 trumpet. Let me see, where did I get that page? Here's a couple other things. The better it looks, the faster it sells. That's like really true. If your stuff looks like crap, if it's sitting in boxes and it's all over the place, it just looks like, if your sale looks like it's going to be a piece of, then don't expect to get good money for it. If you have stuff that's clean, if you set it up nicely, if you have it looking good, it can sell faster because people can get to it, and you can get more money for it. it's so often I come across sales where literally it's like dig through these boxes. And I'm digging through these boxes and I hold something up and I hold this thing up and I go, well, how much is, after I've dug it up and I'm trying to, how much is this? And they're like $45. I'm like, Jesus, come on now. You're not even going to get the spiders out of it and you want that much money for it? It's like, now, it's great if you find one of those sales where they don't clean up and then say 10 cents. Love those sales.
Yeah.
Those are my favorite sales. 5 cents, 10 cents, things like that. You remember when the Emerald the Witch, there was a sale we were at.
Yes.
I made him get out of the car because sometimes I just go, you have to get out of the car. And he got out of the car.
I bought the purple pillow from that.
He bought a purple pillow.
And I did not recognize the Emerald the Witch carrying case.
It was $100 brand new purple pillow that he got for $10.
Yep.
And as he came back, I went, what about the thing? And he goes, what thing? I said, what about the witch? And he goes, what witch? I said, there's a witch over there with the little witch hat. And he went, I don't know what you're talking about. I said, okay, stay in the car. So I got out of the car and I walked over and I found an Emerald the Witch, which is a really rare doll. And it was in its little witch house. And it had extra outfits and an extra witch doll in there. And I said, how much is this? And if I remember correctly, wasn't it like 50 cents?
Yeah, it was an obscenely
I sold all the pieces for it for almost $500.
Yep.
But it was one of the, and it's like, as soon as somebody says this is 50 cents.
And she still lit up too.
I shop more. If somebody tells me this is a nickel, this is a dime, I shop more. If somebody tells me this is $10, if somebody has, this is what it's on eBay for, bye-bye. That's the other thing I say in here. Try to never charge more than 25% of its retail cost, unless it's a collectible. But again, even in that case, you're not going to get eBay money at these sales. That's also so frustrating. Elisa says she's been to so many of those $45 sales. Yes, that's a good point. When running a sale, having bags or boxes available is always smart. And this is a really, very good point. Always think of the folks that can't bend over. I hate when they got boxes of things under the table. I know my knee just popped 2 weeks ago and it popped again a week ago. I can't shop below there. I can't bend that way. I can't get down. If I get down, I ain't getting back up again.
That's where you ask if you can have some help moving a box to a surface that you can reach.
Well, yeah, but it's also easy to build up for this. We have so many freebie bags. Like we got so many things that we can, like we've got from all these other places. But yeah, I guess, yeah, they are banned in Canada, but we still keep a bunch of bags. We still have a bunch of bags. Roadrunner. So Lisa was at a sale like that last weekend, picked through dusty old barns, but everything was cheap. So again, that's, if you're going to put stuff that's cheap, then it's cheap, but never try not to charge more for something like that. So what we try to do is say that if you've got some stuff, as people are saying, if you've got bags, try boxes, you can try and look for sold tags or things along those lines. For you, we want you to have a coffee thermos. We want you to have sunglasses. We want you to have a cooler for yourself. We want you to have a radio, a comfortable chair, a card table, and maybe a place to put the money, and a good sense of humor. That's basically the things that you need to make sure you have when you're doing it. When we do it, one of the things we say is you put a lot of stuff together and then start looking at the prices. Start pricing stuff at $1 and $2. Maybe set your tables up so that you have a $5 table and a $2 table and a $1 table. If you can, write out price tags on everything. If you don't and you want to make it easier, use color tags. If you're having a sale with friends, one of the things that we've seen people do, it's a little more complex. I would recommend that you have them have a table by themselves with their stuff that they sit at. So you have your table over here. But we have been to a number of sales where a couple of families have got together or neighbors have got together and put it all on this bigger driveway. And they just have notes or stickers on each one of the pieces, so that when they're brought up to the one person to pay, they're able to say, oh, that's Lisa's, that one's Greg's, that one's Adrian's, and they write them down on the little tally sheet. So a carpenter's nail apron, yeah, we do that. We have the fanny packs. Yeah, keep the money with me. We take the money into the house. It's one of the things that we always say to people is, when you're doing it, take your money into the house every once in a while and empty a bunch of it out so you don't have it all. Small bills and cash coin flow. Yep, that's another really big thing for people to consider. And yeah, Heather's point, be friendly and talk to people, but not too much. One of the things that keeps your money in place, though, I think, as well, is when you actually think about who's coming up on your table and what they're asking for, or who's coming up your driveway. So we have a couple of other rules. One is, here, Holly's saying color codes of family. Hating that. The checkout is hard, but yes, pricing items is big, Elisa. If you put pricing on, that is that's very important. Again, to make success for you. We're not talking shopping there. We're talking about how do you make your sale successful? Price everything. Everything is sitting there. If somebody comes at the beginning of the sale, this has happened to us multiple times, and somebody comes at the very beginning of the sale and they have a bunch of stuff. They have one thing, they have 10 things, and they want to make a deal. No deals. No deals on anything for the first hour. I'm sorry, I might be a bit of a hard butt ass when it comes to something like that, but that's how you make the money. Think of your garage sale as an extension of your reselling business. You don't want $1 offers from somebody. You don't want someone to say, I put these 5 things in my cart. Can I have them for 50% off? If everything you're selling is $1 and $2 and somebody has 7 things and they go, it's $14, will you take 10? It's like, it's
No.
7 things. Just say no. If you'd like, you can come back at 11. And we've actually done that before. We had a woman who walked up, and it's actually a story that's in our garage sale book. We had a woman who walked up literally as the sale opened, grabbed a bunch of stuff out of boxes as we were taking it. So that was making us mad to begin with. Had it all in her hands and then said, okay, what have I got here? I'll give you $40 or whatever for this. And I looked at it, I said, you got over $100 worth of stuff. So no. She goes, well, how about 50? I said, no, you've got $100 worth of stuff. And I said, you're the first person here. Like, no, people are just coming up the driveway right now. You're not getting a deal from us. If you want, you can pay me $100. Thank you very much. I am not a charity. So I am not a thrift store. This money is for me. So
it's priced fairly.
Really well. Everything is really well priced. And she put it all down. I said, just come back in 2 hours and I'll give it to you all for $50. Well, she came back. She didn't come back in 2 hours, I don't think. But the thing is, we sold almost everything that she had in the first hour and 15 minutes for the full price that we had. So again, it's keeping that money up there, keeping what you want up there.
Now, there was a question. Ever caught anyone stealing? Not really.
No.
Are we fussed if somebody walks away with something that we're
yeah.
likely going to donate anyways? No.
We also have a tendency, if we see a little kid and they really like something and it's small and we had it for $1, we'll give it to them. And the kids are like ecstatic about it. And the parents are like, what did you just do? How much do I have to pay you? It's like, no, it's for him. Yeah, she looked like she really liked it. So why don't you take it? And we're like, we can excite a.
He's been so well behaved here.
Yeah. And funny thing is, sometimes those parents then shop a little.
Mm-hmm.
Surprise! Those are nice. One of my big tricks, which sometimes I like screwing with someone's head. So if somebody comes to me and they got a $10 item and they say, will you take 5? I go, no, I'm sorry, it's 10. And they go, are you sure? How about 6? I go, okay, 11. And they go, what? I thought it was 10. And I go, yeah, it is 10. Okay, I'll take 10. And they go, no, I want it to you for 5. I said, okay, it's 14. You go above the price that you actually wrote on something when someone tries to drop the price really low, it screws with their hand. So bad. They just can't understand it. I've actually had, honestly, 1 or 2 people who've then said, okay, here's the 10, which I wanted in the first place, but they offered me 5. How long will you hold an item if someone goes to the ATM? 15 minutes, maximum. 15 minutes. We don't hold anything for longer than that. We tell people the ATM, we know how far away the ATM is from your house. And if the ATM is literally 5 minutes from your house, like the one by us, they can get to it and they can get back in 10 minutes. If they're doing any longer, they're shopping somewhere else.
Or I can use Stripe.
Or yeah, or we can use Stripe. as well. So yeah, that is having a secondary way of taking payment. Somebody else mentioned Venmo here. Stripe is something else that we use. We actually have a sign up on the big on that's taped up to our garage sale that says we accept credit cards. So if somebody says they don't have the money, Square, that's another one. Yeah, that's the other one we use. Square.
Sorry, it's Square, not Stripe.
That's Square.
I
Sorry.
misspoke.
That's another thing to make money. Coolers of ice cold water on hot days can go for a quick buck. So yeah, that's a great point. It is something that it's adding to what you've got. So don't all of a sudden start taking prices down before you've even started your sale. Try to set in your own head, like I'm going to go for this amount of money I think is really good. If it's somebody you know, if it's somebody you want to make a deal with, great, go ahead. But don't be dropping 40 or 50% in that first hour. Just don't do it. Wait and see. Hopefully somebody else will come back and they'll actually buy it for a lot more than that. Louette says she does that. I said, can you do better? And I raise the price. It's like, that's better for me. I like that one. I'll try that one this summer. If they say, can you do better? I'll go, okay, 15. They'll go, and it says 10. I said, yeah, but it's better for me. So like that one.
Now, Craig is actually pretty affable with most folks. It's rare for him to get pissed off or ticked off with somebody.
Well,
me, on the other hand, if I haven't had enough coffee and they're really arguing with me over trying to get a discount, it's like, nope, the Kraken comes out.
So we talk about that. So you're going to have something. You're going to have your garage sale corner. You're going to set everything up in there, and you're going to hopefully start thinking about prices on stuff. So we've got boxes that we got to have $1, $2. Put stuff in there. Fill up the $1 box. Boom, we start another $1 box. Boom, we start another $1 box. Think about things that you have quantities of. CDs, DVDs. You're not watching them anymore or listening to them anymore. You're downloading everything. There are people who really collect that stuff. Records, books. If you can get rid of books, we've done that where we just put a whole table and the books are all like $1. Or in some cases, we might do 2 for $1 on books to get rid of books. We've done that with magazines. Actually, we tried that last year with a bunch of road and track magazines that I picked up for like nothing. And I just said for the road and track magazines, it was like 10 for $2, which was still going to make us money. So next time you go the longest yard sale in August, I promise to be selling a bottle of water because it's horribly hot. Well, we might be going to that one. I'm still trying to convince this one.
Not if it's horribly hot.
We have our hotel booked. Politeness goes a long way, right, Kendra? I'm way more apt to give good deal when someone asks nicely. Yes. I still won't give them a good deal if they ask first thing in the morning. That's my thing. Greg's got a great question. Answer one question, please. If you see a great table that says $25 and it's great stuff, do you say each or all? Like, you see the table and you go, all for $25? Yeah. I'd say all for $25 because all they could do is laugh at me and go, no, everything's each. And I'm going, oh, sorry, I thought it was all.
To fix your sign.
Yeah, put each by everything. So I just said, yeah, I have $1 table, $2 tables. I put those signs on the front and sides of the tables as well. But Lisa says she asks. Lisa, my favorite strategy is make a baller offer for everything I just did on Saturday with 50 Squishmallows for $20. Yeah, you can sometimes do that. And I, as a shopper, I do that as I get to sort of the 11 o'clock area. I don't really personally do it because I know as a seller, I don't want this to happen. But if I go to a sale and it's 10:30 and it's been on for a couple of hours, I'll make some offers for stuff. I did that last year and got some great stuff with things like that. So a couple of things that you've got to make sure that you're going to have. And we've actually done this. If you're on our Kennel Club, if you're a member of our Kennel Club, you'll be able to see this. There'll be a link shortly in YouTube, and it's actually going to give you a full checklist, a preparation checklist of what you need to think about pre-sale, what you need to think about the sale day, what you need to think about for you. And so it gives you some of those ideas. But yes, one of the other ways to make things successful, try and make sure that you've got money, change. Make sure you've got, and whatever, your loonies, dollar bills, loonies, toonies, so you've got the change out there. One of the reasons I also don't do things for a quarter or a nickel is because you can't buy anything for that nowadays. I actually say to people all the time, if they're trying to get something for 50 cents, I go, I can't even get a coffee at Tim Hortons for 50 cents. I'll tell you what, you go buy me a coffee and I'll give you this for the coffee. And very quickly they start going, oh yeah, it is. because I'm not asking a lot. I'm asking $1 or $2 for stuff. I don't have any money. Well, I'm sorry, then you can't shop with me. I actually once put a sign at the end of the driveway. Rick didn't want me to have this sign up there. When my mom was still alive, I had this sign I put at the end of the driveway is, this garage sale is for charity. And then in brackets underneath it, that's my drag name. And I had a couple of people
we had that in front of this house too.
In front of this house. I think Mom was here a lot.
We had some fun signs.
I had a couple of people who wanted a picture of me with that sign. And then a couple of people who said, what's the charity? And I was like, moi! And they were like, I don't get it. And I was like, so,
now the other thing that we deal with quite often, because the neighborhood we're in has a lot of families that are from cultures that really love to haggle. Everything is a bargain. You know, they look for an opportunity to bargain. If it's after 11 o'clock, I play that game. Until 11, it's like, I'm sorry, this is what we're charging. Come back after 11 and then we can talk.
So some of the things that we actually also will say, things are in our checklist. Pens and pencils, including a red marker to mark things down. Stickers, various sizes for pricing. Prepare yourself an inventory sheet so you can get an idea maybe of what you're going to be selling. Big sheets of cardboard for cutting up for signs and flyers. That's one of the big things. We talked about that at the beginning about signs. We actually have, we go to your dollar store, buy the Day Glow, like the big glowing
poster
boards, pink, green, big. Now, those big things like this, they're the size of this. Don't cut them down to a sheet this big, because that's not something going to be seen. You know, you can't see it. I used to teach outdoor advertising to people. What I used to say is, you're designing in front of your face. Now I want you to put it at the end of the hall and run by it. That's what this is going to read like to most people. So think about keeping your signs this big or at half the size. Don't have to put tons of information on it. Garage sale, multi-home sale, and a date and an arrow. That's the only things that you need to do. Big, thick black marker. And then take some old boxes that you've got that you aren't using anymore, something that you won't be able to ship anything in, and staple, tape, or we tape the sides, or spray glue. We have spray glue. Those signs onto those, and then stick them up everywhere. The other good thing is stick them up 3 or 4 days prior, at the most, the Monday before the sale. Do not put the sign up the week before this, like the Friday before a week Saturday, because you're just going to get people driving by on that Saturday who are going to be mad. That's why we actually don't even do that. What were you going to say something, Rick?
No, I'm just looking at some of the comments.
Yes, save signs that are undated and use them year to year. That's a really good point. We actually save the signs that are even dated, and then we cut another piece of paper and stick it over top of them and add the date to them too. Hey, Dax. Thank you, Dax. Dax has become a YouTube member. Thank you so much, Dax, for being a member of our Kennel Club. Donna says she has a guy, her first sale is a guy about $250 of items. Yes, that can happen too. So, and Lisa says, I can't haggle either. Oh, you're afraid to haggle. I saw somebody say something about, go to the end of the street to see if you can read Craig's signs.
Actually, we get really good comments on our signs because we actually map out our neighborhood and we know all of the inroads to our little street. So we put signs at all of the inroads and then directional signs within our community. So it's
6 or 7 or 8 signs.
Big arrows.
With
the
big
bigger
arrows.
The arrow, the better.
Like we know that right behind us, there's the exit from a mall. And there's a grocery store at that mall. So there's a sign that goes up there on the Friday night for a Saturday garage sale for every single person who's coming out of that mall who's gone food shopping so that they can come to our sale. And again, having multiple, we say neighborhood, multi-house, something along those lines. You just need 3 houses really to have a multi-home street sale. You don't be one and write multi-house. If you do, be prepared for people to come up and say, where's the other houses? Okay, here's the lie. They were supposed to join. I guess they couldn't. Yes, don't forget to collect your signs.
Yeah, we go out in the afternoon after our sale is shut down, Craig will drive me around and I will jump out and pull the signs down.
Yeah, usually around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we'll pull the signs all down so they're gone for the next day. I won't have those signs up there again. So yeah, those are some of the ways. So again, we're going to put stuff away starting in our cases 6, 7, 8 months prior. Like we had boxes we were starting a lot earlier last year. We've got boxes we've already started this year for a garage sale that we'll probably be having in August. We're going to be arranging it again. We're going to just send a flyer around our neighborhood because multi-home sales get a lot more money. The more things I can put into these boxes that I don't care about anymore, that I can get $1 for, 100 little things for $1 is $100. Just remember that. We've gone and talked to some of our neighbors and said, how did you do today? And they said, wow, we were really happy. We made $65. And I thought, they had so much stuff. How do they only make $65?
They're pricing things at a quarter.
Pricing things at a quarter. And how much did you make? And I went, 500? And they're like, what? So we've also had a neighbor who's made $2,000 in a day. Now, she has a lot of stuff that she puts in that is newer stuff that she gets from her brothers and stuff like that. That's like new clothing and things like that. So she might have a bin that's filled with like winter toques and they're all $1 a piece. Just think about the prices that you're going to be charging versus what does and use this as, say it to people. It's cheaper than the thrift store. Can't get it for $1 at the dollar store. It's like that. I'll buy that for $1. It doesn't work. When you're a seller versus a buyer. When you're a buyer, completely different tactics, completely different world. Think about advertising your sale. Again, we got a few minutes left just to sort of make people remember. We talked about this a little bit last week. Get onto Facebook. Join every single local group that is around you. So in my case, I live in Scarborough. There are like 15 Scarborough, Guildwood, East End, Scarborough, Durham Facebook groups. Because you're going to put your post in every one of those. Just make a little post, take a picture of your sign, make a little post and put it up there so that people know all of the people who are going to be surfing Facebook are going to be able to see your sign. If you have Craigslist available, use Craigslist for free. If you have Kijiji available, use Kijiji. Use any place that's free. If you get friends and family to join you, either selling it with you or neighbors to join you, if they can all kick in a couple of bucks, consider paying a little extra. For example, when I'm on Kijiji and we're doing the block sale, everybody gives us $5. Then I got $50 with 10 houses to promote my sale, to make it the top sale and stay at the top listing for the next 3 days before the sale happens. Or I can do an ad on Marketplace for Facebook to make my ad pop for people to see it up there. So those are some of the things you think about. Invest a little bit of money, but not a lot of your own. Your main investments are going to be making sure you have your own change. You got paper. You're going to have to spend maybe $15, $20 for paper, signage, cardboard, stickers, all those sort of things. Go to the dollar store and you'll find a lot of that really, really cheap. Yeah, that's a great, you save on tax. Tell people you save on tax. Yes. There's tons of those sales where it's all multi-market stuff, clothing, all that kind of stuff. No packing, no shipping. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff. You put it on your own page in 20 Facebook groups and Kijiji. You got it right, Lisa. Make sure you don't rebuy your stuff that you bring to the thrift store that you didn't sell. Yes. And afterwards, you just get rid of it. Safety. Yes, that's a great idea. Community board as well. Just remember that when you're doing this, the stuff that you've got to get rid of, it was going to go in a garage sale. Most of the time, it was not going to be $25, $30 items. If you want to pull something out of that, that's a $25, $30 item. You want to try that, that's great. Go for it. Pull that out. But the rest of the stuff, you finish the sale, the stuff goes to the thrift store or to the garbage or to the dump, wherever you're going to take it. Don't bring it back in the house. And you'll be surprised. Last year, I think when we did it, Rick, we probably had about 15 office, like
15 or 20 office boxes going out onto the driveway.
The end of the sale,
we had 4 that we dropped off at the Value Village.
We put pictures out before. We put $5 on pictures. Again, if you want to ship them, great. But if it's stuff you want to go, yeah, Susie's got the point. Get rid of them. Take them to 3 different places and get different coupons. Put them in your car and drop one box off one day, one box off the next day. What? Get coupons. Go for coupon. Not that you need it for the $2 coupons anymore. But all of those ways are ways that you're going to be able to make a lot more money for your garage sale. And that's the whole thing. You want to have a garage sale. If you do put a little bit of effort in, you might make $100 or $200. Don't spend. The other thing I always say, sort of to end it all to everything, don't sit there from 7:30 in the morning till 6:30 at night. It's not worth it. You're not going to do that. You have a life. You're doing this to get rid of stuff. So do it, get it over with. Open at 9, close at 1. And if people start coming up your driveway at 1 o'clock, just go, sorry, we're closed. What are they going to do? Spend an extra $3 with you?
Oh, we were going to donate this. Here, take the box. Bye.
No, I wasn't giving them anything.
I'm
sorry, they missed it. I got a coupon.
You want the coupon.
I got a coupon. So thanks for coming in and joining us today as we talked a little bit about how to hopefully make some big bucks for you when you're holding your garage sale, and actually a little bit of tips on how you look. You can now think about not only from a buyer's perspective, but a seller's perspective on that. Yeah, Heather does hers from 7:30 to 11.
We usually do 9 to 2 or 3.
9 to 1 or 9 to 2. So hopefully you've got some ideas there. If you don't, and you still have questions or anything like that, feel free to send us a little note down below. You can, if you're watching us after the fact, or send us a message directly to us. You can send it to info@twodogsdigs.com. You can send it to us on Messenger, on TikTok, on
join our Facebook group. Any of those places, and we'll see if we can answer any questions that you do have. And again, if you're a member of the Kennel Club, thanks again for supporting us. There'll be a little message that comes up in the community center, and it's going to be a link to this, and it's going to have all the checklist things available for you to do a print off, so you've got it all right at your hands, right in front of you. You can see all the things. And again, if you got any questions there, just let us know. We will see you next Tuesday when we're going to do what's sold in April, and hopefully have a little bit of fun. Maybe we're going away for the weekend. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to me. My birthday is Friday. I'm old. So we're going away for my birthday, and I already know that there's 12 estate sales that are on the Thursday, Friday, and Saturday that we're going into upstate New York, and I'm hoping that it's also garage sale time. Sometimes in May it's too early, and then the Sunday it's the opening of the antique fair that we go to that happens once a month. So I'm hoping we can do some really good shopping. So I might have some stuff to talk about that as well. So thanks again for joining us here at Two Dogs Digs, and we will see you again real soon. Woof. Thanks for that, Hercules. See you next Tuesday.
Yes, I will enjoy my birthday. I always do. Thanks. Thank you. I get that. That debit card is ready. Thanks, everyone. We're out of here.